I'm Paul Perkins with a check of your ag weather. After highs this afternoon in the upper 90s to the mid 100s and feels like readings of 105 to 115, the approach of a cold front could trigger a few thunderstorms tonight in northern Nebraska locations that are along and north of Highway 92. That cold front dropping south tomorrow results in highs in the mid 80s to the low 90s, along and north of I-80 to the 90s to around 100 in far southern Nebraska and northern Kansas. Thunderstorms are widespread tomorrow night through Wednesday as that cold front stalls right along the Nebraska-Kansas border, and with more storms moving in from the west. Late tomorrow through the evening, Nebraska is included in a marginal risk of severe storms, a level 1 of 5. Lower thunderstorm chances continue Wednesday night through the weekend with multiple disturbances tracking east. Our daytime highs cooling into the upper 70s to the mid-80s Wednesday and the 70s for Thursday and Friday. A warming trend boosting those highs into the mid-70s to the mid-80s Saturday, the upper 70s to the 80s on Sunday. The warming trend continues in the long-term forecast. Nebraska and Kansas temperatures expected to be seasonal to slightly cooler than normal this weekend through early next week before a trend of warmer than normal temperatures by the middle of next week through August 10th. Slightly above normal rainfall is predicted for Nebraska and Kansas this weekend through early next week. The middle of next week through August 10th, Nebraska and Kansas rain chances backing off slightly to near normal rainfall. Key weather factors impacting the markets include the U.S. heat wave ending with heavy rainfall and severe weather, areas of dryness in the Black Sea region and central China, and increased rainfall in parts of the northern plains, Canadian prairies, and Australia. Cooler air east of the Rockies makes a significant southward surge. The second half of the week, highs remain mostly below 80 across much of the Midwest and Northeast. Rain and locally severe thunderstorms precede and accompany the cooler weather, with 5-day rainfall of 1 to 3 inches or more from the northern and central plains into the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. Something the Storm Prediction Center is watching, a derecho or widespread high wind event is possible in South Dakota for today. Scattered rain in the southeast U.S. increases in coverage as the week progresses. Heat and high humidity linger across the south, although by week's end, cooler air encroaches on all but the Gulf Coast. Rain with a cold front in the northern plains late this week could move through the Corn Belt early on next week. More scattered rain is possible during the middle to late part of next week across the Corn Belt. Towards the Canadian prairies, scattered rain missed key drier areas across the north this past weekend, while areas farther south saw good rainfall for crops continuing to fill. Late week rain in the Canadian prairies is likely to be too late to help with more mature areas across the south or damaged areas across the north. The western Black Sea region expects scattered rain this week, while the central and east are hotter and drier. Conditions for corn are still pretty dry across most areas in Ukraine and southwestern Russia. Northeast and southern China saw scattered rain over the weekend, but central China was drier. Central China and the North China Plain continue to have more heat and dryness than the other locations, and rain this week is likely to be spotty. In Australia, rain the next few days and this weekend reduces the drought for vegetative winter wheat and canola that get into the reproductive stage the next few weeks. With your check of ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.